need to add that. If it is added, it is having a particular purpose that we have to keep in mind. So what the word he used here is avyaya, which is doing two functions. One, it is exploring. Another one, it is expanding. Upadarshane. He is telling. The word he is exploring what kala is. The word he is expanding what kala is. Nama shabdah prasiddho. So generally we should get the word nama because we know that kala means. That's what he is telling. Kala iti prasiddha upadashyate. We know that kala is commonly used. We know the term kala. That itself is sufficient. No, kala is the technical term which we are supposed to know. So here, kala is defined from the point of technicality, which is very essential one. Swayambhuhu iti na kena api utpadyate. It's the, as I already said, it's the one which is minute in its nature, and there is nothing needed for its manifestation. Swayambhuhu na kena api utpadyate. It's there. There is nothing needed for its manifestation. Then he say, anadi madhya ityadi adihi utpattihi adyantayoho antara madhyam nithanam vinashah etaihi varjitah. So it's very beautifully defined that nishedha is applicable for all the three. Anadihi, amadhyah, anantah. Okay, so kala is one which is devoid of adi, which is devoid of anmadhya, which is devoid of anta, that is nidhana. So this is what I mentioned in the beginning also, which we are supposed to know. Swadharmena kalam uktva karmana chikitsa upayogitam nidarshayan aha. So what its basic nature is, what basically kala is, that is defined first. Then its chikitsa upayoga has been explored now onward. Nidarshayan. The word, whenever we come across with nidarshayan aha, nidarshayati, we should keep nirdesha tantra yukti in mind, and we should look into that vakya, which is very important. Atra rasa vyapat ityadi. Atra kale rasasya madhuradehe rasa shabdena atra rasavat dravyam uchyate abheda upacharat iti anye. So the word rasa here used should be looked into from the point of dravya, because dravya is going to be understood. Dravya is going to be expressed through rasa. That's why we should consider in that way. Vyapat, vipannata, sampattihi, sampannata. So it's very clear. So the prakriti and vikriti of rasa, prakriti and vikriti of dravya should be known. It is having clinical application which will be reflected later in the same chapter that we will discuss later. Ayatte adhine. As I already said, the rasavyapat and rasasampat both are under the control of kala. So this we should never forget. This is the reason why the process of degradation of dravya is taking place. Degradation of dravya which is not beyond our control. So this point we have to keep in mind. Jivita maranecha iti chakkaro shabdam iha anuvartayati tena jivita marane atra kale ayatte. As I already said, the word cha is used there. The jivita marane cha. The word cha is again also is one avyaya, which is having the technical meaning which we are supposed to know in mind. What they are telling, chakaro atra shabdam iha anuvartayati. The word Anuvartayati again is very important, and it maintains the continuity in narration which is needed. It's having technical importance here. As per Samskrita, the word cha means and. We say it is and. It is used to connect two words, or it is used to connect two sentences. Certainly no. From the point of Samskrita, which is applicable for Ayurveda, the word cha is having another meaning here. Chakaro atra shabdam iha anuvartayati. It is indicating continuity which is required in narration. So here, rasavyapat, rasasampat is not independent phenomena. Rasavyapat and rasasampat, that is connected with Jivita Marana of Purusha, which is very important one. So for Jivana, Rasa Sampat is required. For Marana, it is Rasavyapat which is the cause. So Cha has not used randomly here. Again, Cha has not used accidentally here. It's having its technical meaning which you are supposed to know. Jivitasya उत्पत्ति अधीनत्वात् इति सामर्थ्यात् उत्पत्तिः अपि काल अधीनम् एव. Jivana is not a mechanical phenomena. Jivana is a phenomena which is having purpose, which is having intention, and which is having a conscious involvement. Then only it is called as Jivana. Otherwise, it will be like Marana. Whatever has been done mechanically is Marana only. Okay, so they are highlighting that one, which is very important one. Katham ekasmat kaladravya sampat vyapatti jivita maranecha paraspara viruddhe syatam. So now, this is another way of narration which has been followed in Vyakya, which we are supposed to know. So they are raising it out and they are giving the clarification. How Kala alone be a factor responsible for both positive and negative. Okay, Sampatti is also there, Vyapatti is also there, Jivita is also there, Marana is also there. How a common factor can become a reason for both these extremes. So for that, the answer has been given like Nahi ekasmat agnehe shitoshno etasmat va pradipat prakashatamasi iti. So is it possible to have Shita and Ushna together in Agni? Is it possible to have light and darkness together in light? It's not possible. Then how to understand this? So they are giving justification. Satyam, it's correct. Kala shabdena atra kalatva upadhihi shitadi bheda bhinnaha shishiradihi abhidhiyate tasya cha samyak mithyabhyam yogabhyam anyonya viruddhayoho api karyayoho sambhava iti adoshaha. So now they are giving justification very beautifully. There are two possibilities. One is Samyak Yoga and another one is Mithya Yoga. So when there is Samyak Yoga, it leads to Sampat. When there is Mithya Yoga, it leads to Vyapat. Okay, so it is Yoga which decides the two extremes in relation with Kala, hence there is no any mistake. That's why iti adoshaha, as Kala, due to two different yogas, due to two different karyas, it manifests in two extremes. That's why there is no any contradiction. That's what the clarification which has been provided here. Kalasya niruktim kurvan aha. So it is defined as I already mentioned, sa sukshmam ityadi, sa kalaha sukshmam api stokam api kalam bhagam, the minutest component. That's what I said. Today we have the unit called as second. Tomorrow something else may come. At that point of time also, Kala definition is applicable. Naliyata gatimatva shlishto na bhavati. The minute component which cannot be segregated further, which cannot be divided further, which cannot be divided further, the act of flow, gati, is called as kala. Kala is the minutest one, is the minutest component of gati, which cannot be divided further. Further divisibility is not at all possible in gati. That minutest part component is called as kala. Anye tu na liyate ityatra. We have another version regarding the same. Ityatra kaliyate iti pathanti vyakhyanayanti cha. Some other people they say, they put another view, they say that kaliyate sankhyayate iti kalaha. That which binds the whole process of flow is called as kala. That's what I mentioned earlier. Okay, sankalana, vikalana. Both are the parts of kala. Some people they gave importance for sankalana, connecting bhuta vartamana bhavishyat. Some people they say vikalana, differentiating bhuta vartamana bhavishyat. Two views are there which we are supposed to know. So this flow has to be kept in mind. Then only understanding the disease will be very easy for us. Next they say Nirukti Pakshantaram aha. There are some other views also for Nirukti, like Sankalayati Samharana Ekarashi Karoti Bhutan iti Kalaha. So Kala is one which connects everything. That's what I mentioned. Samyak Harati. So it is like here the word Samharana is mentioned. Generally, when we use the word samharana, in common term, samharana is killing. But here it is different. Samharana is samyak. It brings everything together. Ekarashi karoti bhutan iti kalaha sankalayati sukha dukkhabhyam bhutani yojayati iti kalaha. So kala is one which connects all the living organisms together from the point of both sukha and dukkha. Kalayati sankshipati iti va kalaha. There is another one. Kala is one which minimizes everything, which connects everything in its briefest form. Athava kalayati mrityu samipam nayati iti kalaha. Jivita marana has come there, right? So Kala is one which connects, which takes human towards death. Kala Marana we have, Kala Mrityu we have, right? So it takes us. The minute which we lost is like we are moving towards the death. Of course, we killed that particular Kala. It's correct, isn't it? In Kannada also many times we say Kala Harana Madbeda, Kalavanna Kolbe. We use it, isn't it? You are killing your time. We use those terms repeatedly. That's what mentioned here. It is the one which should be utilized very carefully, which has to be considered very carefully. But unfortunately, we are not at all giving importance for Kala at all. Kalayati ityatra kalayati iti pathanti. There is one more view. Kala, kala. Both are considered as synonyms many times. Kalayati means that which sankhyati iti. That which is countable. Kala is countable. We cannot say that Kala cannot be measured. Kala is a measurable component. This we have to keep in our mind, which is very important. This is in brief about this particular shloka. Till now, I have provided you extensive view of narration. Okay, so now onwards, we will move with a bit fast pace, because as I was introducing the subject, that's why I have given you elaborative orientation and how you should look into shloka. Now onwards, I'll be a bit fast so that it will be an activity for all you also, which you are supposed to know. You should read and you should come back, which is very essential. Now onwards, I have given you the direction. Now you should move further. and you should come up with doubts later, which is very important. So once Kala has been mentioned now, they are going to narrate the same in detail by telling about the divisibility of Kala. Tasya संवत्सर आत्मनो भगवान आदित्यो गतिविशेषण अक्षिनिमेष काष्ठा कला मुहूर्त अहोरात्र पक्ष मास ऋतु आयन संवत्सर युग प्रविभागम करोति. So this Kala is under the control of Aditya. Aditya is the regulatory phenomena of Kala. Both Aditya as well as Chandra, they are together to regulate Kala. Which has been narrated under the headings like Akshinimesha, Kashtha, Kala, Muhurta, Horatra, Paksha, and so on. These are all different divisions from minutest to the maximum. So that has been mentioned here. And in Vyakhya, what they did, which is very important, Kim Vishishtasya Kala is having some speciality, some specificity. What it is, the major component of Kala is Samvatsara. Kala is having Samvatsara Swarupa. This point we have to keep in mind. This is the key. From here the whole narration has been given. Amongst the different divisibilities of Kala, you have Yuga and all later, right? So amongst all, it is Samvatsara which is having utmost Chikitsopayoga. So that's why it is kept in mind, which is going to be regulated, which is going to be represented significantly based on Aditya, that is Surya. Surya is major one. So keeping that point in mind, other divisibilities are mentioned like Akshinimesha and whatever I already told you. So in Vyakhya, what we get few points which are very important. Here there is one unique orientation of narration in Vyakhya which you are supposed to know. It's in the form of question and answer. Kim Vishishtasya, the question. For that, answer has been given. Next, if you move on further, Kim Uktam. Okay, so for that, answer has been given. Then, Sarvesham Dharma Avarodha Kutaha. So the narration of Vyakhya here is entirely different. For every term used there, they have used the question and answer. Question and answer. One important point here we are supposed to keep is, as I already mentioned, Bhagavan Aditya iti upalakshanam tena chandro api gruhyate. So especially when we are talking about Bhumi, we should keep both Surya and Chandra together, and then we should consider whatever the modifications going on in Earth. So we cannot consider Earth excluding Sun and Moon. It's not possible. Earth is having strong association with Sun and Moon. From the point of astronomy also we know this. From the point of geography also we know this. So we should look into geography and astronomy from the point of Ayurveda, which is very important for all of us. Okay, so at the end it has been mentioned, Samvatsaro punaha ekasmin eva sarvesham bhuta bhavat bhavishyatam divasanam rutunam samvatsarantanam cha dharmo avarudhyata iti yathoktam eva nyayam. As I already said, it is Samvatsara which is the major, significant, unique component, concept of Kala, around which everything has been connected. So that's why ultimately the importance has been given to Samvatsara here. Now you read the whole Vyakhya again, and whatever the doubts you have, we will have the discussion later. Okay, so next in the shloka, they have introduced some technical terms. Okay, they have introduced Akshinimesha, Kashtha, Kala and all. So they are defined here. Tatra Laghu Akshara Uchcharana Matro Akshinimesha. So the time which is used to pronounce the letter having Laghutva is called as Akshinimesha. So Kashtha is one which is made up of 15, Panchadasha Akshinimeshaha. Kala is one which is made up of Trimshat Kashtaha, like that. So this description is the self-explanatory. You will be able to understand it very easily. So all those terminologies are defined very properly here. Okay, ultimately up to Masa, how to understand that has been mentioned.